All right, Shalom, Kol Haloyim, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honor be unto the head elders, the apostles and bishops of Great Millstone, and Shalom to you, Akim, out there in the same doctrine, all right, teaching this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to y'all, who are the hopeful elect that the Bible speaks of. Welcome to another installment of Psalm of the Day. All right, and Lord willing, you're edified. This is Psalms 132, a song of degrees. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, remember David and all his afflictions. And as we know in these last days, pursuing to Amos 9, the Lord said he was going to rebuild the tabernacle of David, all right, from its ruins and bring the breaches together, which is all the 12 tribes of which King David in the past, in the ancient world, ruled over Israel. 40 years total. 7 years in Hebron and 33 years in Jerusalem. How he sware unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and vowed unto the mighty power of Jacob. Surely I will not come into the tabernacle of my house, nor go up into my bed. I will not give sleep to mine eyes, nor slumber to my eyelids, until I find out a place for the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and habitation for the mighty power of Jacob. Right, you read in First Chronicles, Second Chronicles, First Samuel, Second Samuel, about how David's heart was pretty much leaning towards building the Most High a temple, but Most High had to, reject, that from David, because it wasn't the time for him to do that, for simply that he was a bloody man, as the scriptures say, meaning that he was just a fierce warrior. Pretty much the Most High saw that he just had too much blood on his hands. So the Lord was going to promise it to his seed, which would be Solomon, right? Verse 6, lo, meaning look, we heard of it at Ephratah, and this is a very important biblical reference because it denotes the birthplace of King David, Bethlehem, Ephratah, but more importantly, the birthplace of Yahweh Shai, the Savior. All right. You go into the book of Ruth, it'll tell you about the origins of this very place. And Ephratah meaning flourishing or abundance, and Bethlehem meaning house of bread. We found it in the fields of the wood. We will go into his tabernacles. We will worship at his footstool. Arise, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, into thy rest, thou in the ark of thy strength. Let thy priests be clothed with righteousness, and let thy saints shout for joy. For thy servant David's sake, turn not away the face of thine anointed. The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai have sworn in truth unto David, and will not turn from it. Of the fruit of thy body will I set upon thy throne. And I believe this is in 1 Samuel's the 7th chapter, on how the Most High runs down on who's going to be the heir to his throne, which is going to be his son Solomon. All right, and King Solomon is Yahweh Shai in the reincarnation. For those of you that have ears to hear and eyes to see. All right. So this is denoting that the Savior would come out of, the loins and the lineage of David, King David. All right. And that he would be the, redemption for Israel. I did a Psalm of the Day on the chapter that pretty much goes deeply into what this is talking about, Psalm 72. All right. Psalm 72nd chapter. Okay. And it shows you the mindset that King David had towards King Solomon. If thy children will keep my covenant and my testimony that I shall teach them, their children shall also sit upon thy throne forevermore. And we know that didn't happen ultimately, because what happened to the children of Israel? They all went into captivity. All right. They were all discontinued from their heritage. All right. And 2/3 of them is going to remain in that state, in that spiritual dead state. For Yahweh Bashem Yahushai have chosen Zion. He have desired it for his habitation. This is my rest forever. Here will I dwell, for I have desired it. I will abundantly bless her provision. I will satisfy her poor with bread. And this is mainly dealing with the spiritual bread. All right, like Yahushua spoke of constantly in his parables. All right, how he's the bread of life. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. So on and so forth. Plenty of parables that Yahushua spoke regarding how this wisdom, knowledge, understanding is going to be unto us as bread, as living waters, as wine, as oil. I will also clothe her priests with salvation, and her saints shall shout aloud for joy. Just like it says in the 137th chapter, let the saints be joyful with a two-edged sword in their hand. Roughly paraphrasing, this is going to be in the kingdom when the Edomites are going to be put in the shackles and chains, going to slavery alongside of the Hamites, Ishmaelites, Ammonites, Moabites, so on and so forth, all the nations of the earth. There will I make the horn of David to bud. I have ordained a lamp for mine anointed. His enemies will I clothe with shame, but upon himself shall his crown flourish. All right? Because why? Ultimately, Yahweh Shai is coming to bring back the lost house of David, build it back, and they're going to be joint heirs with him in the kingdom of heaven. All right, and they're going to flourish. You know, like the scriptures say in 2 Ezra 6, as for faith, it shall flourish. So our crown is coming by way of faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Of course, through predestination, which is not up to us. It's ultimately the will of the Father, whether we be of the elect or not. And that's just the reality of the matter. All right? Because Esau's crown, the so-called white man's crown, is not going to flourish. His crown is going to be cast down. It's actually going to be destroyed. All right? Well, knocked off his head and put on Yahweh Shai's head. Proverbially speaking. So with that, this was Psalms 132, Psalm of the day. It's your brother Yarzan Yun, Lord willing. Till next one. Shalom.